Welcome to Good Mythical More. What is the worst candy to eat in a movie theater, according to everyone else around you?
But first, let's donate $1,000 to the National Center for Transgender Equality to aid in their mission to change policies and society to increase understanding and acceptance of transgender people. And please join us in being your mythical best and giving at transequality.org.
Alrighty. So we have the standard movie theater fare if you're not gonna get the popcorn. I mean, have you ever thought about how the noise of opening and then eating will impact the experience of those around you?
I have sort of subconsciously found myself gravitating towards boxes versus bags, because once you get, now obviously like as you're walking to the movie theater, like, and I usually do a slight jog.
Because you're late?
Yeah.
So because you're late, you're jogging, and you're also doing that as the movie's starting. So that's great. That's a great start.
So
let's do a jogging test for all of these. Whoppers is bad for jogging. Oh,
you can sneak right up on somebody and just snap their neck.
Sour.
I usually kill at least one person, right? When I get in there.
At a movie theater?
Yep.
All right, try the dots. I'm leaving this to you. I don't want to pull a muscle.
Oh.
That's
a little muted.
That's better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, because the difference between Whoppers and dots,
is what?
Whoppers are harder and louder.
It's also totally different things.
M&Ms? I feel like a Foley guy. Like, Can we do walking in the leaves?
Wearing a necklace.
Oh, here he comes.
No,
watch out. That guy's got some tamales. He's late.
So that's bad. That's bad for the...
Oh, high
gosh.
pitch.
Yeah, that really cuts through.
But that's kind of nice.
Yep.
It's almost like a rainmaker. Rain stick.
Didn't work. Twizzlers. Give it the jog test.
If you're walking in with this many Twizzlers for yourself,
talk about a quadruple feature.
No one will know. Oh, man. That guy's got nothing.
I feel like
that guy's got nothing.
I feel like we should be dropping a green screen back here. It's like, where's Rhett running now? It's like,
okay.
your eyes.
So the jog test, obviously, the boxes are worse.
To me, it comes down to these and the I think the Whoppers are
so loud.
These are the same as the Whoppers.
But really, that's not that big of a deal. It's once you're in the theater, once you're in the dark, especially, like you're going for something like. First of all, I usually just do popcorn, but Shepard and I are the ones we go see movies together all the time. Me and Shep are movie boys.
Movie boys?
And I get the popcorn and he gets the peanut M&Ms.
I haven't gotten back into movies since the pandemic.
Me and Shepard, we're going. So Shepard puts the peanut M&Ms in the cup holder between us. I mean, in the bag.
Yeah, he just pours them out.
Yeah, and then we just kind of pass the popcorn back and forth.
Popcorn is awesome. But all of this stuff, I'm not compelled to get any of it.
We always get peanut M&Ms because that's what he likes the best. I'm actually a Dots guy, but I've noticed at the
I'm not.
At the AMC, they don't have Dots anymore. They've
they de-dotted.
They've like sort of revamped their offerings. One time they didn't even have junior mints. They didn't have junior mints. Yeah, but, hold on. But what about? But hold on. But you're in the middle. Now, first of all, going for them. Middle of the movie. I always chew with my mouth open in the movie.
We both did that.
What's your left hand doing?
A puppet show.
Yeah, what are you doing? The movie float
A
hand.
marionette show. I'm at a marionette theater that I'm actually the director.
These are good.
That's
That's pretty quiet.
Do you want to kick the annoying snacks up a notch? Because I have some comments from Reddit about people who sneak in outside food into the movies.
You mean my mom?
Yes, specifically your mom was on Reddit. I tracked her down and I pulled her comments about movie snacks.
Now listen to this first. This is a problem. This is a problem. This is a problem.
I'd be punching this guy.
There you go.
Don't they have
double
Sour
problem.
Patch Kids boxes though? Do they do the bags always?
I think they do have boxes because these are the sour
They do have boxes.
watermelons. But once you're eating these, there's nothing left.
Nothing. Totally silent. Now, I sneak stuff into the movie theater if I really want something, because I'm what they call, in Enneagram terms, a self-pres. I go into any situation, I want to optimize my own experience. I want to preserve. I actually don't know the definition. I just know it's like I care a lot about my own comfort.
What
you define
said
self-pres?
Self-preservation.
Res?
Self-preservation.
Okay, so it's like selfish.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the nice way of saying selfish.
I instinctively optimize my experience for myself.
It's like someone who takes a blanket to an event or has a bottle of water next to their bedside. Like,
Yeah.
Well, wait, hold on. What's wrong? What's wrong with having water next to
you
your
might be
bed?
self-pres as well.
Yeah.
I mean, actually,
Now that you've thrown me onto the bus, turns out you're under there.
Well, wait. How could you sleep without water at your bedside? This seems dangerous to me.
what?
I don't know.
fire?
I didn't know that people existed that didn't have like a glass of water next to bed. What? But what if you don't get thirsty in the night?
no, because then I have to have a pee, and then it might be two streams. And
You're self-pres,
And then-
Stevie. Here,
I
listen to
just
this.
don't understand. Is it like a chapstick thing where if you don't use chapstick, you don't need it? If you don't drink water at
definitely.
night,
Don't
you don't
ask
need
him because all he'll do is try to make us feel bad.
well, here's the
it. But that's
doing
not.
something
It's
that
not
doesn't impact
self-pres
him.
because I always get Cassie a glass of water for her bedside every night
Well,
too.
no, but listen. The ironic thing is that there's three different types within each type of the Enneagram. There's social, there's sexual, and sexual doesn't really mean sexual in the sense that you're thinking. And then there's self-pres. It's a little bit complicated, but I actually identify most with self-pres as well. It's just it manifests itself in different ways. It doesn't manifest itself in ways like I got to have a blanket with me if I'm going, or I got to take a jacket with me. Oh man, if I end up getting too cold in this theater, my life is going to be over. Like I won't take a jacket to the theater. Like I won't have a water next to my bedside. But it manifests itself socially as well.
Yeah.
So
Humans all have three main survival instincts: self-preservation, sexual, and social. Our Enneagram type is. We talked about this on our podcast. Shout out to Ear Biscuits if you want to learn about that. But even more importantly, if you want to hear Stevie talk, then listen to her podcast.
that's my favorite podcast.
Stevie, you could get into the Enneagram on your podcast with Nagin,
That's true.
you know? But first, you got to make sure that you're still friends after 15 years. That's kind of what's happening right now.
That's category one.
Category
do
one.
we fit into the best friends category?
This is no for a movie theater.
Stevie's podcast is called Best Friends Back All Right. Her high school best friend, she hadn't talked to. I'm giving a promo.
I'm sorry. I'm just showing you how annoying it is.
Best friends back all right. You're going to see if they can be friends after not being friends for 15 years. Just to close the loop on this, self-preservation survival instinct is the instinct of physical self-protection. As living species, our bodies are the catalyst of our lives. This is the most basic, ubiquitous. What does it mean? It's primarily focused on the body itself and its well-being. This includes health, strength, diet, fitness, endurance.
Physical well-being is just one.
It seeks to find a root cause for this is not a great
Hold on.
I need a more concise.
No, you were just getting to it.
Self-preservation is the instinctual drive that is focused on the physical self and its well-being. However, this is not the same as simply enjoying or having sensitivity to sensory pleasures or comforts.
Right.
There are many people who have a
that
high
part of it.
sensitivity to sensory input, but may or may not be self-pres.
It was about to say in that one you were reading that another thing that self-pres people do, and this is what I relate. So, it said.
I think it's right here.
So physical well-being is one, but that's not me. The second one is self-regulation and skills. So that's how it manifests itself with me. Is like I don't. It's kind of hard to explain. That's kind of boring, actually. Why are we even talking about it?
Yeah.
I mean,
that interests you? Look into it.
We talked a lot about this on Your Biscuits. It takes a while to get into it.
Anyway,
okay, wait. So, like, what?
I want to bring.
Do you bring then?
Coffee. Like
you bring the snack of coffee.
If I've been to a morning matinee or whatever they call it.
A morning matinee. My favorite movies are morning movies.
Well, I've just been there at that time, and I've had my coffee, and I've made it, and I'm like, I don't want to buy their counter coffee when I have a coffee here, and so I ended up having to lie to the person when they said, "Oh, so you can't bring in your coffee," and I was like, I have an illness.
No. No.
This is my emotional support thermos.
I think I said I have dietary restrictions, so I need to bring my coffee in. And they said, okay.
My restrictions are odd. They're like, I don't want your coffee.
Listen to this.
Yeah, dots are the worst, but dots at the movie theaters have that plastic taken off of them, don't they?
I bet you they do.
I think they do because they know.
I think they do.
So they
The
thought about
plastic's
this.
more of like a Blockbuster thing.
Yeah. That's a blockbuster.
So
Do
did anybody say on Reddit say coffee or what did they say?
They went bigger than coffee. Like this first person, little J, said, I strapped like a 12-pack of beer bottles to my chest via duct tape. That was fun. Benjamin Button was the movie of all movies.
12 beers. And until you
bottles too. Like that's like
Wow.
next level. That the weight, the pure weight of that must have been a workout. And then like the waxing of the duct tape off of the skin. There's no way
That's just
that
dumb.
didn't make noise.
Yeah, those bottles were dangling and crackling and jangling. That's the word I'm using for.
I think his method is dumb, but
Yeah.
I do understand where a lot of theaters you can't have alcohol, and if
But more and more out here, you can have beer.
more and more are, but like a lot don't, right? So if
I
you
don't know
want
what
if you
it
want to
is.
have alcohol and they don't serve it, you should definitely be able to bring that in a cooler. I think.
Yeah, a full cooler. I got to be honest
No
with you.
duct
A
tape,
big
though.
part of it psychologically for me is the whole getting in line and buying something at the movie theater. I don't know what it is. It's just like
That you
it's,
like?
it's all part of the package.
Oh,
Like
I hate that.
bringing something of my own in. It's like, yeah, this isn't exciting to me. It's from my house. It's like, I'm not excited about that. It's like, I know it too well. It's like, I don't want the coffee that I made at my house that I've fine-tuned. I want, what about their coffee? Maybe they screwed it up. Maybe they didn't. That's part of the adventure. I don't know. I just like new things. And so I want to try the thing at the thing. I don't want to bring it in. I mean, I don't know what it says about me psychologically, but
Well, I think
Let me get in
there's
the
a
line.
lot of people that bring like
You're empty.
takeout
inside.
meals, so that it's like, it's not snacking, it's more like meal food. And then there's like, Alamo where you can get that type of thing. But my concern there is just the navigation of mess and number of things that you have to like look at and take care of as you're also trying to watch the movie.
yeah,
in
you have to
front of
see it. If you're going to watch a movie at the Alamo Draft House, which I do recommend,
You got to eat your meal.
you got to see a movie that you've already seen before, or a movie that you don't really care about that much, and
Well,
you're just there for the sake of the company.
But they have the setup where you can put your food on something. At a normal movie theater, you're like eating a meal out of your lap.
But you still have to talk to a waiter who walks in front of you.
Yeah, but that waiter has alcohol. And so everything else doesn't matter.
But like, if there was a movie that you'd really been like waiting on, and you were like, there's not many movies that I feel this way about, but like, I'm going to see this one. This is my thing. I got to be prepared. I don't want a waiter involved.
I get that.
I feel that way about every movie. I'm going to the movie to watch a movie, and I want to watch every square second of that movie. Even at home, when I'm really into something, I don't eat and watch like the shows that I'm really into. Like,
it's all part of it for me.
Yeah, from a creative standpoint, it's like every iota of that experience is designed. And it doesn't take into account, like, now I'm not talking about reality TV. Well, I guess with Survivor, I don't even like to look down during that. I don't want to miss anything.
Well, you're assuming I'm looking down to get my popcorn and my drink.
No, like a meal. I'm talking about like what Stevie's saying, a meal or anything that...
This person,
like
Bebo Prox, you know them? Bebo Prox?
Oh yeah, Bebo Prox.
Had a classic theater that charged extra for tickets, didn't care if you brought food, brought in a whole Thai meal and a bottle of Jameson to the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie. A whole bottle of Jameson and 12 beers. I just don't, how does one consume that much alcohol?
I mean, how long is that movie? That's just tacky. Bringing a whole meal into it. That's tacky. That's Bebo Prox.
Okay, here's another thing. Lord of the Fat Chicks, which is this person I'm referring to.
Oh, I thought you were saying that was a new movie though.
Yeah. Said a bucket of Popeye's fried chicken.
Creative.
Now, to me, this is annoying. Because the smell of fried chicken is so enticing, and you're basically saying to everyone in the theater, look at what I get, and you don't. Now feel bad about it. That's almost worse than a crinkling sound to me.
First of all,
then you got bones you're throwing on the floor.
Ultimately,
they're throwing them on the floor.
I'm very, very high on the let's have a good time spectrum. But I'm also very, very high on the let's follow the rules and have fun spectrum. Cause like you bring in a bucket of chicken, it's like everybody's smelling your chicken. You've drawn way too much attention to yourself.
Yeah.
And also, you're breaking a rule that exists for a reason. Like these movie theaters, which have been struggling so much, right? Like they make most of their money off concessions. Like that's
playing the pity card.
That's how this kind of works. And so I just think I kind of want to abide by that convention because it's how the whole system works.
It's also, I thought you were going to talk about the people who have to clean up. Like I hate that. I hate when people get anything or bring something and then they leave it.
Yeah.
Like,
don't leave it. You're not supposed to leave your stuff in a movie theater, right? No. It's not.
No.
It's not a sit-down
if there's
restaurant.
Some popcorn that happens. Okay, there's some popcorn that happened.
Yeah,
but,
you throw a little something.
They got a popcorn vac. They're ready for that. They don't have a chicken vac. A chicken bone vac.
No chicken bone vac.
Speaking of this, just real quick, I want to see if you remember this. Lord of the Fat Chicks makes me remember this. So in Bowie's Creek, as you came into the main part of Bowie's Creek, right there next to the shortstop, there was a low-lying sign that said Campbell University, home of the Fighting Camels.
Yeah.
And then one year when we were like in 6th grade, somebody vandalized that sign and made it say, home of the Fat Chicks. Do you remember that?
Vaguely, yeah.
Because my dad came home because he worked at Campbell and he was like, somebody vandalized the sign. Home of the Fighting Camels. It said home of the Fat Chicks. And it just like, this
there was
just
a
sticks
fat
out.
chick and a fighting camel.
Well, no, because the F and the C, they were able to keep the Fighting Camel and they changed it to, by the time the whole family drove out there to see it, they cleaned it up.
Well, you were like, the whole family was like,
we got to get out there and see.
Check out Stevie's new podcast, Best Friends Back. All right, wherever you get your podcast. And be sure to follow so you never miss an episode.